Alright, checkthisgadget.com coming to you with my first impressions of the iPad mini. I went ahead and got the black one, as you can see from the box, with the black matte finish here. Inside the box comes the manual, the stickers, and the charger. Now, instead of the traditional bigger block size that you usually get with the iPads, which looks like that, with the iPad mini, Apple has decided to give you the smaller block version, which comes with the iPhone and iPod Touch. And of course there's your lightning cable. So just in case you're curious, you get that one if you get the bigger version, and you get this one if you get the smaller version. I'm pretty sure Apple figured, hey, mini iPad, less power, let's give it a smaller charger. So that's what you get as far as that. Going on to the iPad mini, in comparison, it feels, for one, when you first pick it up, you notice it is very, very light. It's very, very light, and it is very, very thin. As you can see, very, very thin. I'm going to put it on top of the Nexus 7, since that is one of the tablets Apple compared itself to in the keynote. So as you can see, give you an idea, a little thinner. So weight wise, as far as when you pick this up and when you pick up the Nexus 7, you will notice that the iPad mini is lighter. As far as how does it look, as far as the amount of space it takes up, I'm going to gently sit that on there because I don't have a screen protector on it yet. This shows you the amount of screen real estate, how just a little wider it is. It's pretty much all the way up at the top. It's like cut off just a little bit at the top, but just to show you how much wider it is. Give you an idea in the hands. It's a little wider. Now, I would say with the Nexus, is you can get away with one hand. I can at least, but with the mini, not so much. Now, I have female hands, so for the bigger guys out there, you might can get away with it being one hand, but I really can't. As far as, just running apps, I restored it from my original iPad, immediately maxed out the 16 gigs. That's why on my bigger iPad, my 3rd generation Retina one, I got 32 gigabytes in that one, so, I mini maxed this one out, so I'm going to delete some stuff and whatnot, but just running the apps that I've been so used to running for these past few months, everything looks fine. Coming from a Retina display, only thing you probably notice is when you're reading a lot of text, on the web or something like that, you probably notice the text is just not as crisp, but you'll eventually get used to it. First impressions, I think this is going to be a very popular holiday seller for Apple in the hands. With the price point being cheaper, it's much more affordable. People pretty much always have wanted the iPad. Now they can afford it. So, definitely seeing this being a big hit. As far as should you get this one or the bigger one, it depends. I personally got this one to use for my business. I use Square. And I got this to use with Square. More so handheld, and because it's easier to type. Let me bring up the keyboard and zoom in on here. So I read a couple of reviews about the keyboard. They were saying that the keys can be higher, but for my little fingers it works perfectly. Let me show you what it looks like in landscape. So this is still, even in landscape, there's still something you'll be doing with thumbs, with your thumbs. You're not going to be doing the two-handed typing like you would on a bigger iPad. So for me, this is perfect. This is perfect. I know some people just might be too small for their bigger men out there, but for me, that is perfect. And so, like I said, I got this personally. Which one should you get, the bigger one or the smaller one? It really depends on what you want to get it for. Like I said, I got this one to be my little smaller business tablet, kinda, to do business stuff with. Just for my business apps, things like that. Check email. And since I type a lot of notes, this works out great because I can, type with easily with both my thumbs, whereas with bigger iPad, it's much more space. And since I showed you a comparison of the Nexus 7, let me show you a comparison with the bigger iPad here. I know it's in the case, but you can clearly see. Give you a good idea. And just show you how much of the screen real estate it takes up. So you see all that space there, and then this is me moving it. Come on. I was trying to get it so you can see how much of the screen real estate takes up. This is me putting the iPad pretty much directly on the screen. The full iPad takes up approximately the whole top part of the iPad screen all the way down to the bottom part, and then that's what you have left. So that just gives you an idea of how mini it actually is. And once you actually get the box in your hand and see the box, you'll realize, wow, this box is really actually mini. I'm not sure if you can really tell from the video, but the box is, when you first see it, it's like, oh, it's really mini iPad, as expected. So make sure you subscribe for my full review of the iPad mini. So far, performance issue, everything is running pretty smoothly, not seeing too many lags, jerks, things like that. Everything's operating pretty well. It's just more so a matter of finding out what you want the tablet for. Designating, do you want the bigger one or the mini one, or do you want to be like me and have the bigger one for keeping at home and have the mini one for, you know, being portable, kind of like I do. It just depends. So that's something I'll touch more in my full review. Make sure you check out my blog, checkthisgadget.com, for written review and my thoughts on it also. And make sure you subscribe. Checkthisgadget.com.